big Daft Punk guy, huh?
A little bit.
I had no idea. Interesting.
Dude,
what's Daft Punk?
If there was any Daft Punk, oh my god.
Welcome to another very clean and wholesome episode of Careful Boys.
Super careful.
We have with us Mr. Kwan.
Hey!
Also, we got Lift God over there too. Let's not forget.
Hey, clap loud, go. Jesus Christ.
That is a nice clap.
That's Donkey Kong, dude. Jesus Christ.
So I thought we would get into our, little personal side. I want to know, is there an item of any type that you guys keep that holds extreme sentimental value?
Mm-hmm.
What's yours?
You already instantly have it.
Yeah, I have it. Do you mean by like keep it on me at all times?
You can, or you just have it.
I have it. It's a picture that my great grandma made because my great grandma was like one of our biggest. I have her tattooed across like my chest and everything.
Prove it.
Damn.
That was cool, man. That was cool.
And so when I was young, she made this like she used to like knit or whatever, and she made this like picture of these two owls. And I've had it since I was like 4, and I've literally...
Wow, since you were 4?
Yeah, I've never... Every place I've moved, everything like that, I made sure I brought it.
So that's like, that's gonna stay with you
100% until I'm dead.
That's really cool. How big is it?
It's like I don't know. It's a normal size picture.
You ever thought of like making anything, like using it to make something else, or you just want...
No, I won't ever touch it. Yeah, I want to keep it as is. It's in the old, like, because it's old. Like, the frame that it's in is, like, this old school wooden, like, frame and everything like that. So, yeah, keep it packed away.
Anybody else have anything off the top?
Dude, I'm the opposite.
I'll tell you one of mine then. So,
Wait, is it crazy? Because I have a mediocre one.
mine's not that crazy. It's pretty...
Go ahead.
So, when I was in high school, my dad bet me that I wouldn't graduate. And if I did graduate, then he was gonna buy me a car. And then
That's pretty cool, dude.
Once I was like set to graduate, he got me my first car, which is like it was a 2001 Civic EX, which was like pretty much a really great car.
It's a sweet car.
So till this day, I still have it, and I still drive it around. It's got a new motor, trans. I upkeep it as much as possible. I spent way more money than I think is worth. And
you dropped it.
I did, yeah.
Got rims.
It's ridiculously low, and it's a little ricer, and it's just like indicative of that era.
That's the one you drove, yeah?
Yeah, I still drive it here. Yeah, and it's super sentimental to me because it's I kind of knew, like, my dad knew that I was gonna graduate. He just said that because he wanted to give it to me tough guy style.
Yeah. He don't want to give it to you for free.
My dad's very like, he wants to like love me, but like not in a way that compromises his manhood, so it's a very cool thing that we have where we never really quite hug, but it's like, and that car, I'm gonna keep it for the rest of my life, like 100%. 2001, so I'm not living in the freaking hot import nights past. I'm just simply
Sentimental.
Is it 2-door or 1-door?
Yeah, it's a 2-door.
That car's sweet. I always liked the EXs.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there was such a sentimental story between... I just thought you were living in the import past.
The whole time we thought that.
I mean, I am, but not through the car. That's just my style.
All right. Well,
What's your mediocre one?
Yeah, your turn, Ant.
Really cool. Can we just let that breathe for 1 second? Thank you. So, on my first date ever with Nina, I like took her to the, just this beach and stuff like that, and then there's people flying a kite, and I was like, oh, that sounds really cute.
The kite.
Yeah, and did I tell the story already?
Yes, you did.
You told us about the first
I haven't
time
heard it, though.
you and Nina.
But Steve ruined it when you told it last time, so you can do a clean run.
Lovely things in my life.
Oh, for sure, but it's the kite from that story, dude.
Yeah, it is. So, I was like, have you ever flown a kite before? Thinking rhetorically, like, who the fuck doesn't? And she's like, no, I haven't. I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, so we just looked
Fucking
at,
loser.
Yeah, one of the little like random toy stores that was around the area that like sells like stuff for the beach, like little buckets that you fucking
Like a Superman kite or whatever.
And then there's just this kite there, so we just got this like generic, off-brand blue kite because blue is cool. And then we flew a kite, and I was literally teaching her how to fly a kite this day. And so in my mind, I was like, whoa, that was crazy. And just the fact that obviously our relationship lasted, I just kept that blue kite. And granted, you don't fly kites all the time. Actually, I don't think I ever flew it again. But I've moved to like 3 or 4 places since we started dating. And every single time we moved, it would just be like, oh, the kite. So we always take it with us. And now I just feel like we're never gonna ditch it.
Yeah.
The first time that we like for real, that was our first date. So we have it tucked away, collecting dust.
I really like that. Yeah, that's super cute.
Thank God Steve's not here. Am I right to ruin this moment?
What would Steve say?
Great story, man.
What would Steve say about that?
Oh, kite from a fucking dancer! Oh my God!
He slaughtered it last time. Don't you remember what he
How
said?
about we not bring it up?
He dunked on it real hard.
Is it? What about you? Do you have anything? What about you? You got something sentimental?
Well, everybody went, and I feel like serious FOMO because I'm really thinking in my head. I'm like, I don't think there's anything like personal.
You don't get attached to just like little objects or something?
You're not gonna like hold on to the Marguerite drawer?
How about like an old, did you ever have a trophy, like your first fucking...
No, dude. I think that no, not trophies or anything. I've never felt like attached to any of that stuff.
I have a lot of shit actually thinking about it.
What's another thing you got?
My mom, I remember Build-A-Bear was like a newer at least in my life. I had no idea what it was. And I know we were still living in North Phoenix, so I must have been either third or second grade, but my mom made me this little stuffed animal monkey named Leroy. And it has like this little, where you hit the thing and goes, ooh, 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 ah, ah. I still have it. It's in my camper right now.
That's tight.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
We have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff like that actually. Like presents that I've gotten from my mom or like my dad that I keep. Yeah.
Dude, I'm trying to think of anything that I have from a long time ago because I used to move around a lot too. And I'm a very big like minimalist, so I love getting rid of shit. Like I like that more than holding on to stuff because if you lose it, it's not a big deal because I'm so used to giving away.
What's your best method of getting rid of, like when you're liquidating your...
Oh, I donate. I go to like Salvation Army, Goodwill or whatever, and I just go, here's a couple bags of things. I still do it pretty often too, especially with clothes because I don't know, I just feel like once I give it away, now I have more room to get new stuff. So I always keep things flowing, you know?
Feng shui, dude.
You know, one time at a Goodwill, I found a Quest Crew shirt.
I saw a Kendra shirt too.
You did? Oh shit!
If I would have saw a Quest shirt, I would have bought that shit.
Damn.
That's kind of tight.
You guys didn't buy it?
No, I didn't.
It's too expensive, huh? You're like, I'm not paying this.
It was way over market value. You ever have anything like that, or are you just like him, where you just throw everything?
No,
away?
I'm a minimalist too, but I would probably say just running on the whole first date thing. There is, so like me and my fiance, one of our first dates was we went gun shooting.
That's dope.
I have
My fucking bitch ass went kite flying.
Parts people.
I wasn't the gun person. She's the one that has all the guns.
No way.
Yeah. So like we went to the LA Gun Club, and it was a pretty cool, like, you know those things that you shoot into. It was pink with a black background, and we were just shooting at one of the targets, and it was just all in the chest, and the head was perfect. And I was like, hey, why don't you just try to do like a headshot? And so she took one shot, and there's like a bullet like right here that went through, and I was like, I'm gonna frame that.
That's
So the reason
That's cool as fuck.
The reason why I've never left her too, because I don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, it's like it will probably go with me to every house that I move to, because it's like a cool little piece, and you just got like one shot in the forehead.
And it's like a heart shape.
No.
Dude, that's tight.
yeah,
that's a good
I'm
one.
gonna put a bullet hole in my
What do you
kite.
got? What do you got?
So when me and my lady got married, there's a picture that we took outside of the where we were staying. It was like a really cool tropical like backdrop, tropical flowers, and then we have a picture framed. But then she had some artist do their own sketch of it, and it's like a cool stylized version of it. And I think that's a really cool piece that we have that we kind of share together. But that's pretty much it. Besides that, I don't think there's anything that like really hold that sentimental. Why are you laughing, yo?
I do have one thing that my mom gave me that I think is now sentimental, but I haven't had it for that long, and it's this bracelet. It kind of looks like this, but it's all like tiger's eye beads. Because she had it blessed by like a monk or whatever, and I didn't even know that, right? And so when I would wear it, my friend that was a monk came over and he's like, "Oh shit, this has a lot of energy. It's probably blessed by a monk," and he could just tell by picking it up. I was like, "Huh?" And then I asked my mom, like, "Oh, she did." So it's weird how there's like this item with like spiritual energy in it. I'm like, I think I'm gonna keep this like for a good while.
And then you gave it to
Yeah.
Goodwill, huh?
No. I actually still have it. I didn't wear it today, but that's like one of the things I think I'm gonna keep like and hold on to, especially because my mom gave it to me. You know.
That is, yeah.
Does your family do that? Like keep stuff?
You know what? I think I inherited my mom's like keepsake mentality, but then my dad is highly like get rid of it.
This episode is brought to you by Audible.
Oh yeah.
You know what I've been really interested in these days?
What?
Real estate. And I've been listening to this podcast because a lot of my real estate agent friends are like, you got to up your game. You got to understand what the hell's going on. Because, you know, you got all kinds of investment strategies. You got long-term rentals. You got short-term rentals. You got mid-term rentals. You got all these different, you can buy and sell. You can flip. You can wholesale. I'm like, man, that's so much fucking shit. I'm fucking starting from zero. So they recommended a podcast called Bigger Pockets.
Oh, Bigger Pockets.
Yeah.
I like those guys.
So I've been listening religiously, and especially on my runs, because I've been trying to get my weight down. So I've been jogging all the time, and it helps out because as I'm listening to people talk, I realize like running doesn't get as boring, and I don't feel that I'm getting tired. So I just run like 30 minutes and all. So it'll take me like 2 runs to finish one full podcast. And it's convenient because now all the stuff that I listen to is in one place. So I listen to Bigger Pockets there. And also I have my audiobooks when I'm driving from Vegas to LA or LA back to Vegas. So that's why I love Audible.
Audible is the home of storytelling. And I love learning through stories because I never really did well with textbooks. And I never did well with lectures that are boring. It's just like a checklist that they're going through. And when someone can like explain to me in things like a story, like I'm a bit of a child, you know, I want to learn about Jack and Jill. Like I want to learn about, you know, 3 guys walk into a bar and then tell me a story and then I memorize it better.
Yeah. If you just talk at me, I don't learn.
I don't
But
know.
if I'm hearing 2 people talk or I hear a story, then my brain understands.
And also, Audible doesn't only have audiobooks, like they have podcasts, they have comedy shows, they have a lot of great content.
Let Audible help you discover new ways to laugh, be inspired, or be entertained. New members can try it free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/offtherecord or text off the record to 500-500. That's audible.com/offtherecord or text off the record to 500-500 to try Audible free for 30 days. Audible.com/offtherecord.
See, both of my parents are like keep it. So like my dad has had tickets from the first concert he ever took us to.
Oh, that's great.
And then like stuff that like I made my mom in like 3rd grade or something.
Yeah, that's called hoarding.
Still has it. No, my grandma sometimes can kind of be on the little hoarding side, but no, it's just like little things. Like I made my mom this little incense holder of this like wiener dog. She still has it. She still uses it as an incense thing. But yeah, my dad has like a lot of the concerts and like pictures of the concerts and all that stuff. And then like stuff for I guess it's different, but like our dogs that have passed away, right? Like we still have like their collars with their names.
Oh,
Yeah, so,
Oh, that's gonna make me cry, bro.
yeah.
their fingernail clippings.
Nah, not that. But
It gets dark. It gets dark, and then
he's all Dahmer. He's like heads in the fridge.
we keep our dogs' heads in the fridge. Very sentimental. Keep our dogs' heads in the fridge.
Good Lord. I think you really do inherit that behavior from your
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, because my mom was really big on keeping everything. Like when my parents got married, they were gifted like a bunch of like weird, like I think they got married in like the 70s. So all the gifts were like 70s appliances, like microwaves that all look retro and stuff. And all of that was in a giant stack in the tool shed till I was like in my 20s. And I was like, are you ever gonna plug these things in? And my mom's like, I just like them. You know, like she didn't want to let him go. My dad was like, let's get rid of them.
But I like it actually. Just thinking about it, so I was just in Arizona, right? And my grandma, when my great grandma passed, my grandma got the house, right? And so she's had it for a long time, and then she finally got to the point because it's super far from everybody, and she didn't want to sell it because like none of us wanted to get rid of it because like we grew up in that house, right? And so we finally got to that point because she was unhappy there to where everybody's like, all right, didn't sell it, and move, be happy, and she moved closer to the family. But because like she doesn't really get rid of stuff, there's a lot of old school stuff from like my great grandma and my great grandpa, who I never really met, but like he used to work on these telephone lines, And so like they used to have these old school phones, these orange ones that had these 2 connectors that they would plug onto the top of the line and make phone calls with. So I got that. But I'm hella into bowling, and my great grandma was a huge bowler. And just this past weekend I was out there, we found her old bowling bag. And it had one of her old bowling balls and like these old school like Dexter bowling shoes that are like in like mint condition, and they fit my little sister perfectly, so she now has them. But then it has her little chamois and her ball waxer, and it has all of her patches on it. So I'm like, oh, I get to keep this. So
Bowling is
I'll
your
probably
blood,
have that.
boy.
I'll have that forever.
And there was like a head in the bowling bag.
There's a head in the bowling bag. Put it in the fridge. No, but no, I think it's cool. That I'm happy that we do that, because then we find stuff like that. You know, like we have a bunch of stuff. My mom has a bunch of stuff from my great grandma in this little case that we have. Like these little. There was like this little gnome that my great grandma bought when my mom was like 4, and gave it to my mom, and she's had it ever since then, and just like a bunch of stuff like that.
You know what's funny is I think like I wonder if you have the same thing that I do, like mildly, where I feel like I barely dodged a hoarder personality. Because as a kid, I remember being kind of like I had empathy for inanimate objects sometimes.
Yeah, no, I like to keep stuff.
Yeah, like the feeling of getting rid of something, even if it wasn't fucking alive, I would just be like, aw.
I feel that too.
It's like even with music, like when you listen to a certain song and you can like remember exactly how you felt or what you were doing that day. Same exact thing for me with like objects.
Right.
So like I can grab it. I was like, oh, I remember when I got this. Like this person gave it to me.
That's why you gotta Marie Kondo it. Remember that? When you fucking Marie Kondo, you gotta fucking say thank you to appreciate its existence as you give it
Dude,
away.
once I watched that, I learned how to throw away shit.
It was crazy, right?
like,
I fucking condoed the fuck out of my
Because I'm
spot.
like that. Like if I can get really attached to things that I will never use ever again.
For no reason.
Exactly, but functionality wise, I'm like, dude, just can't have this. I don't have the space to keep this.
Well, you know what also messed it up as a kid is if you saw Brave Little Toaster as a child, you're gonna walk around with this complex where like, I used to really believe that. Like when I was a kid, I believed that like my possessions were thinking about me when I was like neglecting them.
And they were.
And like, what if I like moved away and forgot them, like Toy Story?
Oh, like Toy Story. Yeah, Toy Story fucking
Yeah. So I was a kid. I was like, oh man, I don't want my toaster to come running after me.
Damn, that's trippy.
Because when you see that, Brave Little Toaster did a number on you, man. It really gave like nice little personality. She's just inanimate.
I have no idea what.
Toy Story did it for me.
Toy Story.
Yeah, bro, because you see the pain and suffering in their eyes, yo. When Andy fucking.
So what happened to all your toys?
You know, actually, I think they're at my mom's house, like in the garage.
You never got rid of them?
I'm pretty sure it's still there. I think I threw away like most of it, but I think there's like a small little box of just like.
But it's cool to
random
keep that
knickknacks.
stuff, because like when you guys have kids, you can give those toys to your kids and be like, I used to play with this when I was a kid.
That's true, yeah. That is really cool.
Some things I wish I hoarded a little better is
Like what?
like
what?
collector item things, like Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering, or Pogs even. You know what I mean? Or like of a cultural type of like thing, because and they're considered like collectibles. Yeah. Because you never know when a collectible is gonna be collectible, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Like Pokemon, we used to have so much Pokemon cards. We used to have literal pages where we'd set our holographic ones and stuff, and they're all mint condition, and we just threw that shit out. Like we literally threw it in the trash. We were like, we don't want to play Pokemon.
I still have mine, but I think they're all worth nothing.
Well, like, remember I told you my dad recently found my Kobe rookie cards that I didn't even know I still had.
Dude, those are gonna be crazy.
They're gotta be gone. And my dad's like, no, they're right here. My whole thing, I had the Kobe Beckett still in mint condition, the one of him on the cover. All that stuff, yeah, and it's never been taken out of its first plastic sleeve that I put it. It's like the
How much is it worth?
90s. The values fluctuate like crazy. On eBay, there's like some wishful thinking that it's like to the 5 figures, but then you'd have to get it graded at that point, and even then, like who knows who's gonna buy it at that price. Oh yeah. But they are some old cards. They're like Kobe rookie.
Dude, you should get them appraised.
I don't even take good pictures of him yet because I don't know that he's a big deal.
Dude, you should see, because those are probably gonna be worth crazy amounts of money. My buddy just
No, they're not gonna be worth much. I'll give you $50 for them now.
for the whole binder.
They were worth a ton. Like the week after he had passed, the prices were like insane, and then they've leveled out to just being like in the thousands or hundreds.
That's still pretty good.
Ungraded.
Get them graded. See what's up.
It's not that hard though.
To get them graded.
Yeah, because I just went to a card store because when I was a kid, I'd always go to Hall of Fame in Monrovia. You guys ever heard of that place? And they moved to like what's that downtown area in Monrovia, Myrtle.
Oh yeah.
And I was like eating lunch. I was like, oh crap, dude, it's Hall of Fame. So I went in there, and then because I have this Hakeem Olajuwon jersey. When I was a kid, one of my aunts lived like pretty close to Hakeem Olajuwon, and this was during the Olympics. So I bought an Olympic jersey, and we went to his house, and I just stood in front of his house for a while.
Oh shit!
And he actually pulled up in this like little C-class Mercedes, which this was like probably like early 90s, right? Early mid 90s. And he pulled up, like he was trying to get into his gate, and I was like, can you sign this? And he actually signed it.
Nice.
So I was asking the guy, I was like, hey, look, like I have this jersey, it's in a frame and everything like that. Like, how much is it worth? He was like, well, you need to get like authenticated if you really want it to be worth anything. He said it was only like $60. So I don't think it's like that expensive to get.
Yeah, it's weird because like you gotta like give it to the place they ship it out, your card or whatever, and then depending on how fast you want it back, the price is so different. It's like $300 if you want to get it like right away or something. It's crazy. It's like $60 if you want it back in like a month or some shit.
That's a scam.
It's a little bit scary. I don't know. But I guess if everybody does it and that's the norm, then that's how they do it. But I was like, maybe I'll just wait till one of those card shows comes to town and they have like grading live on the spot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what they usually do.
Comic cons, yeah. The great comic books.
Oh, they do it over there too.
Yeah, and trading cards too.
We used to have a bunch of comic books too, like old school comic books, like Terminator ones and shit. They were like perfect.
You just never know what's going to be worth anything. The craziest thing is expecting a kid to not open the toy. Or not open the packaging. That's insane. Like, can you imagine that? Getting a Nintendo game, like, oh, but don't open it. Might be worth a lot. Like, there's no way.
So you always got my too.
But yeah, I think that's a nice little crossover with like sentimentality. Kind of pays off in that way of like, you don't want to throw something away. And luckily, if your generation before you behave that way, then you get a lot of gems too. You know, it's really cool.
I do have some Daft Punk action figures that I'll never open, and I have 2 mini Daft Punk bear bricks as well in the box that I'm never gonna open as well.
That's pretty sick though.
I know.
You're a big Daft Punk guy, huh?
A little bit.
I had no idea. Interesting.
Dude,
What's Daft Punk?
If there was any Daft Punk, oh my god.
What's Daft Punk?
Look at
What's Daft Punk?
Everybody, respond in the comments below.
They go, what is that?
Oh,
Like, no.
Yo, that would trip me out.